I'm not a person who sweats a lot, but I remember hanging in the rafters in the sanctuary, and there were a group of us that were able to get up in the rafters that high and hang 3 layers of sheetrock for the firewall because it was cheaper for us to do it. And I remember there being puddles under each one of us where we were working essentially along the wall.
Judy and I sitting on the trunk of the car in our pajamas for trunk or treat. 3 people that came to Judy's house the day Mother died. Very special people that were right there to be right with us. Before the building was completed, the foundation was just down, and I don't remember exactly how far along. I don't think there's any walls going up yet or anything, but Mr. Furman Murphy, who he and his wife Helen gave the property for the church, and Ralph Holiday, bud to Gemini, he's Jim's cousin, was a member. And they were sitting on the tailgate of a pickup truck out on this end out here, watching what was going on. And Ralph didn't live to see the building completed, but Mr. Furman did. And I can remember the joy in their faces just sitting out there watching, and couldn't wait till it was ready. They were very excited.
And I'll just never forget pushing her down the aisle in her wheelchair and joining and looking at every single person walking down that aisle to come up to speak to us.
The favorite memory of mine is when my grandson John was baptized before the building was completed. In the present baptistry, the sanctuary wasn't completed, but we had a baptismal service.
We were putting in the screen for the sanctuary, so we're climbing underneath, or crawling underneath the stage, yeah. And we're doing the wires, and then it was hard to get out, yeah. It was fun.
I think mine, there's several of them, but it all centers around when I was baptized. And I felt like I was going to drown because Tim shoved me under, my feet out from underneath me. Yeah, he was going to make sure that I was fully immersed. But then afterwards, the girls, whenever they talk about it, and Riley doesn't remember as much now because it's been a couple of years, but Miranda still, I remember when they put you in the big bathtub and tucked you under. But they always call it when Mama got baptized rather than baptized. It's baptized.
When we were building the building, and Greg and his dad came out to check on it, and we had the trusses up and walls just framed, without nothing on it, and the roof fell. The whole roof fell in on top of them, and I remember thinking, oh gosh, maybe we're not supposed to build this building. That's kind of a serious thing. And but then I thought and they were protected. They were over in one little corner, the only place they could have been and not gotten hurt. And that's where they were.
We were standing where the door is that goes out, that end on that side. And everything fell around us, and we were completely encircled with broken 2x6s and stuff, and that's where we were standing, and we were still standing.
Who can tell me what this says over here?
My church at work.
Very good. My church at work. And we're going to talk about some things that our church does. What are some ways we help at church?
We clean up.
We clean up. Okay. What's some other ways we help?
To help the whole church.
The whole church.
Praying.
Praying.
Singing.
Singing. Money. What's it called when we give money at church?
We can give
Taking the offering.
Playing the piano for choir.
Who plays? Well, this is actually the organ. Who plays the organ at our church? Do you know?
Miss Donnie.
Very good. Okay, and what is this person doing?
He's conducting. Conducting.
Who could that be? Could that be preaching? Who preaches most of the time at our church?
Preacher Tim.
And as the Lord was past that way, he looked up in the tree, and he said,
Zacchaeus, you come down.
For I'm going to your house today. I'm going to your house today. Shine all over City's Town. I'm gonna let it shine.
Shine all over City's Town. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I mean, it would be nice if we had 200 people, but I'd still like the closeness to stay the same and not change.
To grow with families.
Yeah, younger families,
Yeah.
more youth. I want my kids to kind of grow up in the same kind of youth group that I grew up in church, because in the youth group we were strong, we were united, we were best friends, we grew up together, we did everything together, we went camping, we hung out, it was a solid, strong group.
All the classrooms upstairs, half of them are empty. Like if we could get enough people here to have at least a group in most of those classrooms, and then have more of the sanctuary filled on Sunday mornings.
See more young people in the church. Just, you know, we have one that's still in the youth group, and she loves it here, but she said, Mom, I wish there were more kids my age.
I'd like for us to be like Cheers, where everybody knows your name.
Sweet.
And I think to be able to walk into a group of people, no matter how large it gets. Now, sure, we want to grow numerically. We'd love to see, you know, we've got to knock walls out or build new buildings if that's what God wants for us. Otherwise, as long as everybody knows your name.
But this would always be a refuge. And I say that because the world out there, like our kids, are faced with so much, you know, every day. And that they can come to a place and feel that love.
I'd like to see our numbers increase to where we could share the things that a church needs to do.
I'd like to see more children and young people, high school age, because if this church is going to grow, that's where it's going to grow from.
There are so many memories that came from putting this building on this piece of land. You know, from building it. There are so many people that spent a lot of hours. Some of them aren't here anymore.
That the surrounding community would see us for the gem that we are.
They will know you're my disciples by your love for one another.
That it remained a little beacon on the hill.
Somewhere you want to come back to.
But just to see a full congregation, that just makes you happy.
Like the church to continue to be a nurturing place where they can find love and people who will support them and care about them and give them hugs.
You know, middle-aged families coming in with their youth, and we have something to offer them because that is the church's future.
I love my church.